I bombed the biggest interview of my career up until that point. I did it so badly that I didn't just lose the promotion, I actually lost confidence in myself. But that failure led me to doubling my salary in a year. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact system that transformed my career and how it can do the same thing for yours, even if you feel completely stuck right now. So let me paint you a picture of how badly I screwed up. I was working as a marketing manager at a bank, and my boss, who was my mentor and head of marketing, decided to leave the company. I was his right-hand person. I helped him with everything, and honestly, I thought that I was the obvious choice to replace him. So when the job posting went up, I applied. And here's where I made the biggest mistake of my career to that point. I didn't prepare. I just walked into the interview thinking, hey, these people know me. I'd worked there for like 8.5 years. I just figured it was basically a formality. I made it through the first round with HR just fine, and I felt pretty confident. Then came the second round interview. It happened to be a panel interview, which that kind of makes me nervous anyway, but I completely bombed it. I got nervous, I fumbled my words, and I could just see the surprise and disappointment on the faces of these people that I knew and that I worked with. It was mortifying. So when they told me I was eliminated, honestly, I really wasn't that surprised, but I felt a sense of shame because I felt like I really disappointed myself. I knew I could do better. But instead of wallowing, I asked myself, what can I do to fix this? That's when I did something that most people in corporate would never consider back in the early 2000s. I went on Yahoo, because Google wasn't even around yet, and I searched for a career coach. Hiring a career coach in the early 2000s wasn't like today. People thought I was kind of crazy. They didn't even know what a career coach was. But I found this woman who taught me something she called mentally promoting yourself. So really getting it into your mind that you're ready for that next level. I was thinking like a marketing manager trying to prove that I was good enough to be in that director role. She flipped that completely. She said, Terry, start thinking like a director who happens to be interviewing for this position. So mentally promote myself already into that role. We worked on everything: confidence, interview skills, how I presented myself. And yes, I went out and I bought better clothes. I got a new haircut. I did the whole corporate makeover so that I looked the part. Part of being seen as a leader is really looking like you belong there. But what really mattered was understanding what was expected at that next level. Not what I thought they wanted, but what leaders actually do differently at that next level. So I was just going through this process thinking that maybe it'll serve me sometime in the future so I don't bomb if I get more opportunities. Well, here comes the plot twist. The person they offered my old boss's job to, she turned it down. So they restarted the entire hiring process. So this time I reapplied with everything that I had learned. I made it all the way to the finals. It was me and an external candidate. I walked out of that final interview in the president's office feeling completely different, knowing that I had shown up as the leader I was becoming, not the manager that I used to be. So I was waiting to hear back, feeling good, but not getting my hopes up because I know anything can happen. And then they called. They had offered the job to the external candidate. But you know what? After hearing it, I wasn't devastated like I was the first time. Rather, I took it as, you know what? They wanted fresh blood. But I gave it my best shot. I knew I left it all on the field. I did the best that I could, and they just made a different decision, which was fine. I felt much better about it. But then something I still can't explain happened next. The day I found out I didn't get the job, when I came back from lunch that day, there was a voicemail from a recruiter. It's really like hiring that career coach opened up the door in the universe somewhere. Over the next few months, I received 2 solid job offers and I was interviewing for a third role. The job that I took was in Chicago. It was a director of marketing for a major division of a large national bank. It was better than the job that I didn't get. It ended up being more interesting, more challenging, and a great opportunity for me. So within the first year, I doubled my compensation. And over 12 years at that company, I literally made millions of dollars more than I would have at my old job. The job that I thought I desperately needed would have been the worst thing for my career, quite frankly. So I moved my family to Chicago, and this new role was no joke. I walked into some serious challenges where a group of women who had been bullying the marketing department because there hadn't been a leader in place prior to me coming in. They tried to do the same thing once I moved into my new role, wanting me to step aside and let them run my team. Well, you know what? That wasn't going to happen. I knew that if I backed down, that I would lose all credibility and signal to my team that they didn't have to respect my authority. And I had risked a lot. I had moved my family halfway across the country. I was not going to risk that. So I stood my ground. It did get ugly. There was some people yelling, wasn't me. They were trying to intimidate me. They wanted things to go back to the way that they had been. But I'd learned from that coach, if you have power, you need to use it in order to keep it. So my team was watching to see if I would actually lead or if I would fold under pressure. Eventually the resistance died down because I had proven that I would stand up for my team and I would stand my ground with these interlopers. So over those 12 years, I learned real leadership. How to delegate without micromanaging, how to get maximum leverage from the resources, how to navigate politics and make difficult decisions. Most importantly, leadership is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's creating an environment where your team does their best work while you focus on strategic stuff that only you can do. So by 2017, I wasn't just successful, I was feeling pretty fulfilled. I kept thinking about that coach who had changed my career path forever. In 2017, I made another bet on myself. I left corporate, I got certified as an executive coach, and honestly, I thought I'd just kind of do it on the side and find another corporate gig. But once I started working with clients, I saw the exact same patterns everywhere. High-achieving professionals, incredibly talented, but completely stuck for the same reasons that I had been stuck. They were working harder rather than working differently, focused on proving they were good enough instead of stepping into leadership, waiting for somebody to tap them on the shoulder instead of mentally promoting themselves. I've worked with hundreds of executives across industries and across functional areas. Whether they're making $150,000 or pushing $1 million, the problems are remarkably similar. Working overtime constantly without recognition, doing everything themselves, and avoiding difficult conversations. Here's what I've learned. The most successful people invest in getting an outside perspective to see their blind spots, because there's a reason why we call them blind spots. You can't see them yourself, but working with somebody can help you to see them and learn what you can do differently. You can't read the label from inside the bottle. When you're in the middle of your career, you literally cannot see the patterns that are holding you back. That's exactly what happened to me. And I thought I was doing everything right, but I was operating with my blinders on. And my coach helped me to peel those back so I could see what I could do differently. Now, every time that I work with a client, I'm doing what that coach did for me, helping them mentally promote themselves to the next level before they even get there. What's the actual system that changed everything? It's what I call the mental promotion framework, and it has 5 core components. I'm going to share those with you. First, it's about getting clarity on your goals. Most people think they want a promotion, but they can't articulate what success looks like at that next level. So get crystal clear on the impact you want to have and why. Second, build your roadmap. This isn't about working harder. It's identifying the specific skills, relationships, and experiences that you need to develop to get from where you are to where you want to go. And third, there's a skill gap analysis. Here's what most people miss. The skills that got you here are not going to get you there. Honestly assess what you're missing and actively develop those capabilities. And when I work with people, we identify those and we work those into the plan. Fourth, there's environmental awareness. You need a safe place to discuss challenges that you can't talk about at work or with your family and friends. And accountability is important to stay on track. And finally, understanding the political environment that you're navigating. Fifth, maintaining a positive mindset. Most people sabotage themselves with limiting beliefs they don't even realize that they have. And here's what I've learned. The goal isn't just professional success. It's expanding the overlap between your professional success and your personal happiness. What's the point of climbing the ladder if you're miserable? Most clients come to me working countless hours, feeling burnt out, questioning if they even want to stay with their company. Once they learn to get the leverage from their teams and focus on their highest value work, they work maybe 45 to 50 hours a week with significantly more impact because they're investing their time and energy in the right things. Look, I'm going to be straight with you. If you're watching this, there's a good chance you're exactly where I was. Talented, hardworking, but hitting a ceiling and you can't figure out why. Maybe you're working insane hours without recognition. Maybe you didn't get that promotion you were hoping for. Maybe you're feeling like an imposter or avoiding difficult conversations because you don't know how to handle them. This is all very normal. And here's what I know about working with hundreds of executives. You already have everything that you need to succeed. The problem isn't your capability, it's your perspective. And you literally cannot see past your own blind spots. You don't even know that they're there. That's human nature. We all have blinders on, or else we'd be overwhelmed by everything that goes on around us. This is all very normal, but these blinders limit your view of what's possible. If you're a director, VP, or SVP, and you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start getting the leverage you deserve, and then I want to talk to you. I'm not going to pitch you anything. I'm going to help you get clarity on exactly what's standing between you and that next level of success. We'll identify the patterns holding you back, and I'll give you a clear roadmap on what to focus on next. Some will take that roadmap and run with it. Others might want to work with me to help them implement it. Either way, you'll walk away with more clarity, and I will be happy to help you get that. The link is below to book a 30-minute strategy session with me. Fair warning, I only work with people serious about making changes, not about complaining. But here's the truth. The job you think you want might not be the job that you need. The only way to figure this out is getting an outside perspective on what you can't see about yourself. So go ahead and click on the link below, book some time with me. I'd be happy to talk to you. I'm Terry McDougall, the high achiever's secret weapon to success and happiness.